Hi, Martin. Um, I'm really excited to hear more about the solo leadership retreat that you've just had here in Glastonbury. And I was wondering if you could share some more about it with me and your audience here.
Thank you. I think this is the 12th leadership retreat I've run here now in Glastonbury in the last year or so, and I'm just in awe of the power of it. Um, I've worked for 3 days with this client, um, and this was a solo leadership retreat. We're doing those. I'm doing those, of course, and also the one in November, which is a group leadership retreat. Um, I'm just in awe of certain things. Is like it's very easy in the world, especially in the business world, but the world at large, to be caught up in our thinking,
Mm.
to be caught up and constrained and blocked in some ways, in blocked in our peace of mind, like restricted, like limited peace of mind, blocked in the way that we are in the world, like lacking our authenticity or worried about what we're thinking or judgmental of others, or stressed about where think we need to get to in life or in our work or financially. It's like it's really easy for the mind to get us in a pickle.
Mm.
And so then we're living with a suboptimal situation. We're living with more stress than we want. We're living with less freedom than we want. We're living with less peace of mind. We're living with less power and boldness and self-expression. And yeah, so life becomes more constrained. And so I noticed this with this amazing man that I've been working with for the last 3 days to unleash him, to support him in unleashing himself to be more of who he really is, to connect to himself, to be freer and more loving with others and more connected and more inspired. Um, yeah, and that's what I feel like my role is right now. Okay, I'm doing them here in Glastonbury because Glastonbury has this particular energy and place for it. But
Mm.
but it's not, it doesn't matter too much about that. What matters is that people and leaders are getting off the hamster wheel. They're
Mhm.
getting off the busyness of life and the busyness of their role, getting away from all of life, getting away from into a space where they can stop and reflect and go, where am I and how's it going and what's driving me and what's the thinking underpinning it all? And is it supporting me in living the beautiful, magical, joyous life that I want to live?
Mm.
And often it's not.
Mhm.
Um, so we need these places, whether this is with me or with Unbounded or anything else. We need to get off the hamster wheel to really question.
Yeah, to take that space. But I've also thinking that the way that you work with individuals, groups, is unique, obviously, to you. And what would you say that you do in your special Martin way that might be different to other retreats or one-to-one and group gatherings?
Um, Goodness me. Um, I'm I'm compassionate yet extremely challenging.
Mm.
Uh, I'm highly practical and can relate to people in the normal mainstream world, yet I'm also taking people on a really deeper journey.
Mm.
I'm helping people work out what spirituality is, even for those that well, that doesn't make sense to. I'm helping them drop into a deeper space to live life from.
Yeah.
But the number one thing is I'm really amazing at helping people transform their thinking, like having profound insights that then shift the way that they live and the way that they lead.
Mm. Yeah, I sense that you hear things and see things that they just aren't able to themselves, and that you have an incredible way of helping the picture to become clearer as to, yeah, what's really going on and how they can create absolutely fresh and new and aligned, yeah, a fresh way of being. Um,
Yes. A fresh way of seeing and then a fresh way of being. Yes. And the other thing that I'd say is I think there's some really simple things that really keep coming up.
mhm.
And there's simple things that we know about, but they like through retreats like this, they can be deeply experienced.
Yes.
And this is the benefit of slowing down. This is what it really, really means to be present, to be really present and in this moment, not in our thinking,
Mm,
to increase our awareness to how we're thinking and feeling and what we're doing and why we're doing it and our awareness of what's going on around us.
mm.
Um, so I think there's some really simple things that actually we need to experience on another level
Yeah.
because the hamster wheel of life is so fast. There's not enough time to deeply contemplate these things.
Yes. And I think the difference with being on retreat with you is that it's not just a conversation, it's an experience, as you were pointing to. It's there's an embodied, felt sense of what you're pointing to. And
Yeah,
and I know from our conversations how important and how special Glastonbury is to you as a location. Yes, it can happen elsewhere, but in particular, Glastonbury, the landscape is so conducive to a really beautiful deep dive into exactly what you've been.
it is. It is. And you're right to bring it up, Karina. Thank you. It is because there's an energy in this place that's different. You know, you don't have to become a hippie or be a hippie to come here, although there's a few hippies around. You know, there's an energy here that is conducive to slowing down.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of there's a kind of different type of town and people live free from their conditioning more than in mainstream world. So there's a lot of people here that are questioning how society's working, how they're living, and they've gone on more of a personal path to questioning. So it provides the perfect container. It provides the perfect container, and actually, sort of magic does happen in this town. You know, this is what happened over these last 3 days. Is like part of the work was Simon, go walk around the town and be present and listen and be aware and see what arises. So the town dances with me in a way that's really unique to provide us serendipity that actually really like brings some magical insight to the work that we're doing.
Yeah, yeah. And when you mentioned serendipity, what really struck me was the way that when you go to certain locations with you bring an instrument sometimes with you. I don't know if that's always the case, but how everyone around comes and provides that experience that you couldn't have predicted. And I think there's so much power in that, and in because that's how life is, isn't it? Life unfolds, brings us into the unknown, and how we respond to it is I hesitate to say a skill, but it's a way of being that you can demonstrate. You can really walk your talk at the same time as showing, yeah, someone how to be in a different way. For example, not caring what others think. You mean that's something that is so prevalent for many of us. Whereas there's that freedom that I heard you speak to in Glastonbury that seems to be, yeah, quite obvious that perhaps you don't see so much in other places where everyone's just in their own little heads.
Yes, yes. Yeah. So I've been here for nearly 18 months and I have transformed enormously on that journey.
Mm,
Um, Freeing myself up, increasing my authenticity, opening my heart, being
mm,
more present. being more grateful to the joy of life, being more clear about my responsibility at this time. And so, yes, I feel like I'm uh, got loads still to work on, but it's like I'm living it.
Yes.
I'm bringing people here in ones and in groups to go on that journey themselves with me.
Mm. And what would you say that your client left with um, when you completed your 3 days together?
He he left with freedom and like his words were acceptance, joy, and inspiration.
Mm.
He left accepting all elements of himself and his life. He left with joy in his step,
Yeah,
and he left ready to inspire himself and others in his work and his life.
that's amazing. It's beautiful. Yeah, it's a blueprint for life, a new blueprint. Yeah. Mm.
Thank you. Thank you for the inquiry, Carina.
Thank you for sharing.